I adopted my little sister after our parents died. Then my GF gave me an ultimatum. English isn't my native language, so please excuse me if I make mistakes. Last month, when my parents were driving back from my uncle's house outside the city, they encountered a moose on a remote road in the forest. My father, who was the driver, swerved at a high speed and hit into a tree. They both died on scene. Because it wasn't a very often used road, they were only discovered the next day by a passerby. My sister has been staying with my grandmother, who I'm not a great fan of. She would hit me when I was a kid, most of the time deservedly so, but also a lot of time unjustified. She said that she doesn't want to adopt my sister, so the next option was me. I agreed to it without question. We are very close, and in the end she's my family and I love her to the end of the world. My sister moved in with my GF and 2 weeks ago. Obviously she's very scarred from what happened to our parents. We were both very close to them and they were great people. She still doesn't really talk much, only to me and sometimes my GF. We take her to therapy twice a week and there are improvements, even in such a short amount of time. Yesterday, after I stayed with my sister in her bed until she fall asleep, I went to my GF's room. She said that we have to talk about this situation. She said that we don't really have time for each other since my sister moved in. It's a fair point. We've only had sex once, and that was when my sister was away, and even then I wasn't really into it at all. She said I should reconsider the adoption and maybe hand her over to my uncle and aunt. I refused. They're already busy as it is. My uncle isn't allowed to work because of a heart condition and because he didn't work long before being diagnosed. His disability fund isn't very big. My aunt works at a retirement home, and that obviously doesn't pay great. They also pay for my cousin's university expenses while juggling taking care of my younger cousin who's only 5. My GF is in her last year of university, so we don't have much money either. I luckily found a job after university in my field that pays pretty good, but it's been tough financially, though soon enough I will start receiving funds from the government for adopting my sister. My GF said that she isn't ready to become a mother, and overall having all these responsibilities of a parent, which I can understand, it's tough, and said that it's been putting a big strain on our relationship, which again is valid. Before, we'd get back from work and university and be off for the day, but now we have to pick my sister up from school, drive her to the therapist, and also take care of her a lot when she's home. She doesn't like to be alone. I told her that while she makes valid points, all of that goes out the window when this is my sister. I can't just throw her away because it's not easy. It won't be easy, and that I have to ride it out, but that she doesn't. It probably wasn't the right thing to say, because it set her off, and she said that if I had to choose between my sister and her, who I would pick. I didn't answer, and we got into a bit of a verbal fight, after which I went to sleep on the couch, and I kind of broke down from everything that has been going on lately. I should like to add that my GF and I have been together for 9 years. She knew my parents and they loved her. She also knows my sister from birth, and I just can't understand how she could make me pick between them.